I never heard the shofar like that before, never.
You can hear it all the way up to the seventh heaven.
Maybe he's creating a new world, a second creation.
Do you think it could be Judgment Day?
Listen to that.
What's happening here?
You haven't heard? Buncher Schweig is dead.
Who?
Buncher Schweig has left the earth.
Buncher Schweig?
Buncher Schweig.
Really?
Listen. He's at the heavenly gate. I've got to get Father Abraham.
What's that?
Wait, it's his armchair, the golden armchair for Buncher Schweig.
Who? Oh, how beautiful.
This'll be his crown.
Look at those pearls and the diamonds in the center.
I have to take it to the holy presence. He wants to inspect it himself, don't?
The heavenly court hasn't met yet. Has the heavenly court met yet?
What difference does it make? It's just a formality.
Even for Moses, they held heavenly court.
Listen, if this case lasts longer than 5 minutes, well, you don't understand. This is Buncher Schweig.
Who?
He's here. He's come, that Buncher Schweig.
Here he comes, Buncher Schweig. There he is.
Come, Buncher. Yes, you, Buncher Schweig. Come. Don't you know me? I'm Abraham, Father Abraham. Pinch yourself, you'll see it's not a dream. Come into the heavenly presence. Come. Come. Heavenly court is in session waiting for you. Won't you sit here? Sit, Bunch. Sit. Comfortable. You are now in the heavenly presence.
The case of Buncher Schweig. Start, but be brief. The defending angel.
Ready.
The prosecuting angel.
Always ready.
Proceed, but quickly.
His name is Buncher Schweig. Buncher, the silent. And his name fitted him like a cloak made in the hands of a master tailor.
No similes, please.
His death, like his life on earth, made no impression. If a horse had dropped dead in the street, it would have attracted more attention. But then if there were as many horses as there are men like him, the horse, too, would have gone unnoticed.
Metaphor.
No metaphors.
He never complained of either God or man. Hatred never flashed into his eyes. He never raised his voice in bitterness to heaven.
Rhetoric.
And no rhetoric, please.
Job was unlucky. This man was even less fortunate. At his bris, no wine was drunk. At his bar mitzvah, no speeches were made. He lived like a grain of sand, along with millions like him, and when the wind picked him up and blew him upside down, no one noticed.
My dear angel for the defense, this is a soul on trial. The facts, only the facts are what we want.
His mother died when he was 13, and he inherited a stepmother who was a snake.
Insinuations against a third party? Come, come.
I beg your pardon. He didn't complain. Instead of food, he got moldy bread. Instead of meat, he got the gristle and skin. Winter times, he chopped the wood barefoot in the yard, his hands and feet frozen. The black and blue marks showed through the holes in his pants. Did he complain?
Yes, yes, proceed.
He didn't even complain to his father.
What's this?
His father, that drunk?
You'll be heard from all in due time. Proceed.
He had nobody to play with ever. He never spent a day in the cheder. He never had a book. He never had a coat that wasn't somebody else's first. He never had a minute to himself. His father, drunk one night, threw him out of the house into the street. He picked himself up and went, whichever way the wind was blowing. However hungry he got, he kept silent. He begged only with his eyes. How many times he was arrested? Vagrancy, loitering, no visible means of support. I couldn't begin to tell you. How many times he found work the dirtiest, the heaviest, the most menial, and didn't get paid. I couldn't list them all. And worse than working harder was the finding of the work, and through it all, silence.
Could I suggest, please, time is...
Please.
No. You go on.
When they splashed mud on him, when they spit on him, when they made him walk in the gutter and told him keep off the sidewalk, when he stood in a doorway begging for money he was owed on a job and they told him come back later, now it's not convenient. When they paid him, as they did, only in part, or cheated him, or gave him counterfeit money, he kept silent, although starvation and death were constantly at his side. Once, good fortune smiled. He stopped two runaway horses and saved the life of the man inside, the owner of the carriage. Although the driver of the carriage was killed, he was made the coachman, and he inherited a wife. And more than that, a child. The wife and child of the driver killed in the accident. When his newfound benefactor went bankrupt and didn't pay him what he was owed, he was silent. When his new wife ran away and left him with a newborn baby, he was silent. And 15 years later, when the boy grew up and threw him out of the house, even then, silence. And when the same benefactor ran him down on the street and the carriage wheels rolled over him, he didn't tell the police who had done it. And in the hospital, his back broken, nothing.
And in a hospital, you can say anything. Scream, even, it's permitted.
Yes.
And when the doctor wouldn't touch his case without payment in advance, and the same for the hospital attendant who wouldn't give him a glass of water without first being paid, even then, silence. Silence in his last minute on earth in the death struggle. Silence in death.
Have you finished?
One moment more. He was buried in a pauper's grave. Even the gravedigger doesn't remember him. A little stick was put up to mark the grave. The next day, the wind blew it over, and the gravedigger's wife found it and used it to stir a pot of potatoes. And in all, from birth to death, not a word against God, not a word against man.
The defending angel is concluded. Then the prosecuting angel.
Angels in heaven. Angels in heaven. he was silent, angels in heaven, so I will be silent.
Quiet, please. Please. Bonche Schweig. Bonche, my child. Bonchela. You suffered and you kept silent all your life. You never knew your power, the strength of someone who has never felt a moment's hate in his life. You never understood that you could have raised your voice and your cry would have shaken the walls of Jericho. The very walls of heaven would have fallen before your cry. We will not judge you, nor pass sentence, nor try to find a reward that is right and just and proper for you. Take what you want. Everything is yours. Anything. Ask anything you like. It's yours. We mean it. Really, everything is yours. Everything there is in heaven belongs to you. Because everything here is only the reflection of your own self. You see, Bonche, you're only taking what's yours. Anything.